Hello, beautiful beings. It's me, Amy B, welcoming you to this new chapter of Unity. So throughout our journey of alignment, we've climbed a long way from planting our feet correctly and how we ground and center in our pelvis to our recent chapter of how we align through our neck so that our head and all that we are in our brains can remain level. I introduced this to you in the last chapter, that our eyes will always be level with the horizon. And this is the area we're going to be looking at today, is this area. So it's our third eye space, our prefrontal cortex to our brain, and our vision. This area is typically known as being responsible for our perception and our intuition, and it's connecting all of our outward experiences with our internal mind and functioning within. So this area is like a window for everything that we're looking out inside. This is our watchtower, and also everything that is outside coming in, and then how we are reviewing that in this space. So let's look into this a little bit more. This area, the prefrontal cortex, which is right at the front top of the brain, is responsible for our expressions and our decision making. So it helps us determine what is good and what is bad, what is better, what is best. It's also our center for feeling guilt and remorse. So this is where we learn a lot of how to be within this world. And thoughts and actions are in accordance with our internal goals, and it's responsible for our concentration and our organization, etc., etc. So this center here is what takes in external information and decides whether we need to take action or not. That action will be what feeds into our nervous system. So let's just go through the process as we touched on in a previous chapter when we were looking at the heart, that something happened. First of all, our body tries it on. And then it's through the expression of our body, so just say like a frown. Something happens that causes you a little bit of stress and you drop into a frown. What will then happen is the heart will beat slightly irregularly to send a message to the nervous system, which lands in our central brain, which is known as our brain, central brainstem, known as our lizard brain, where our amygdala, which is a little almond-shaped guy, which will go, oh, danger, danger, danger. Something bad is happening. And then this, the watchtower, the prefrontal cortex, will then review in more detail what is happening. So it takes our previous experiences and it goes, oh no, this is a false alarm, or sound the alarms, there is danger in the neighborhood. And once this has then signaled a negative response or a fearful response, it will then kick in with the rest of the nervous system, which then produces the stress hormones, etc., which then makes us come into a stressful emotion. So that helps to highlight a little bit of the process of what's going on in this area and why a healthy alignment with how we are reviewing situations and how we keep this bit healthy is so important, because what we think and feel then becomes our actions. This is also the center for the Hindu concept of the third eye, which is referred to as our center for intuition. The seat of the soul was how the Hindus used to refer to it. And that's relating to our pineal gland, which is right in here in the middle. What our pineal gland's function is it secretes melatonin, which helps to regulate our sleep function, but also our circadian rhythms. So not just when we sleep, but when we eat and how we behave on a day-to-day basis. It also produces a chemical known as DMT, which is why it's seen as a window to the soul, because this is the chemical that gives us the visions as we dream. So it seems to be a very functional part of who we are. So the way I like to look at this area is it's a window to the world and to our inner workings. So we see into ourselves and then we see out with our perception of the world. So we can actually take a look at aligning this area with our own natural rhythms for a healthy experience of how we see ourselves and how we see the world around us. And also working on keeping those eyes and ears level for a harmonious balance. So this is another really fundamental aspect of alignment. There's the physical alignment so that the energies and the systems of the body can all function harmoniously, so we can get that harmonious existence. And so much of that is to do with our perception and how we look after our emotional reactions, because that is what triggers a physical response, and getting the right balance for when and what we do with our sleeping and eating and movement habits. It's everything. So welcome to the window to everything. This centering space, we're going to be moving forward with practices with mindfulness, which really strengthen the response of the prefrontal cortex. So you'll be less triggered, less often. Sounds good, hey? And then we'll do a really centering, balancing movement practice, which is really going to help to center and align everything from the eyes down. And then we'll connect in to knowing your true self. And this is how we find our center alignment with our own rhythm. So maybe today you could spend some time observing yourself. What makes you react? And how much of a filter do you have in these spaces? When do you feel tired? And what do you do to counteract that? Coffee? Or do you listen to your body and go to sleep? Also, how do your stress levels get affected throughout the day? Spend some time observing yourself today and join us tomorrow as we'll get deep into the seat of mindfulness in the third eye space. With admiration for all you will be, that's it from me today. With love from Amy B. See you tomorrow.